All right, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to add details, sort of the last little finishing touches when you sort of kind of all the way get done. Like I really like what I did back in here with these little bushes here, and that's a little interesting. I didn't blend this, but again, I can come back in and I can blend this. Again, you gotta watch your tools so you know how big you're blending. So I'm gonna maybe blend it a little bit bigger there. Go a little faster. I kind of like that back in there. So I went in here and I just did kind of a not very creative red for this little barn here. But as you paint, make sure you're going over those lines so you don't really see them, because otherwise you're going to end up with sort of like a coloring page, like right in here. I should kind of go back and get some green. And make sure I get rid of those, go over those lines a little bit. And then of course I come back in with my blending tool and touch it up so I can blend that. And you vary your marks with your finger, your stylus, like up, down, left, right, diagonally. Because again, these are like you're trying to create these organic areas in your painting. All right, now for the little details, zooming in is your friend and checking to see the size of your tool is really, really important. So I'm going to try the felt pen out here, and I'm going to sort of make some detailed marks in this little barn. I'm going to come up with some sort of these lateral boards. So I'm going to get kind of like a brown in here. I want kind of like a reddish brown. Whoops. I kind of like that color. So I'm going to come in, zoom really far in. I got to watch my line. I need a little bitty one. So I'm going to, oops. And I'm going to see how that looks. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to have some other ones over here. And again, I could even zoom in even more than this. Whoops. Sometimes it wants to move on me. And again, zooming in is your friend. Now that's not too bad. When I zoom out, I've got some nice little details in there. When I zoom in, it looks a little funky, but again, I zoomed in and I made the size of my pen like really, really small. And again, I may probably wanted to go in there and check out, the opacity is pretty much all the way up, so it's because it's a felt pen, so it's pretty good. But again, I could, whoops, undo is your friend. I could come back in here in these little bushy areas, and maybe I can get a really dark kind of green in here. Maybe I don't want a total black, but I want a really dark green. There we go. And then I gotta check size, pretty dark, okay. And oops, I'm gonna see if I can make it even smaller than that. There we go. I'm gonna do some like little detaily bits in here. Some like little wiggly marks in here. And I'm gonna see what that looks like. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. So it looks like these little crackly like areas in there. I probably made those too big because really, if those are like little branches, they're going to be way bigger than my barn over here. Okay, but that'd be a good way that I could get some good details. Like for example here, I could switch back out to my tool, other tool, and maybe I wanted some of that, and I could bring that size up. Oops, that's a little big. I like the little slider up here because then you can tell how big your tool is. There it goes. My sketchbook is being a little weird today for some reason. So I kind of fill all that in. Get maybe a dark, so I got my, and then I'll grab a highlight. something like that. If I zoom out, that's not bad. I might want to blend it. My smudge pen, check my size. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. Kind of smudge it around a little bit. I want to keep it a little chunky. Okay, now I'm going to go in and do some detail work. So I'm going to try, I think I'm going to try the fine line pen and see how that goes. And I'm going to bring up some sort of browns. Maybe I'll do a little branch work. All right, so I'm going to check my size. Super small. Maybe some little lines of the leaf or something. Kind of in there a little bit. And it's been doing weird things to me for some reason. It's wanting to zoom in. There we go. All right, let's see what that looks like. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so again, that probably works a lot better in the foreground than this stuff in the background, but that is kind of interesting. I mean, I could go back in with my blending tool, and I could smudge that up a bit. See what that looks like if I smudged it. Made that a little more smudgy. Get in there and smudge it around. Now let's back up and see what that looks like. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So be thinking about all of these things that you can do. I mean, I did quite a bit, and mine, it's pretty interesting what I've got going on just with the tools on Sketchbook.